Unless you guys want to rehearse a little more. We went over the script, right? You guys have the new page.
Yeah, I've got the.
It was our pre-meeting went long,
Yeah.
our organizational pre-meeting.
Well, we have a script. This is always according to a script. I mean,
It's
you
right.
couldn't do
It's like a
something as
play.
tight.
It's tough to write a script that has so much texture in it, but you managed to do it, Jay.
It's real good.
Right.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
Communications professional.
Attaboy.
Are you here?
Now?
Are you Jay buddy, are you good?
Oh, I'm hearing all sorts of feedback.
So good.
Oh, so 2/3 of the handsome hour tonight is having internet problems. That's totally fine.
I fixed it, however.
Very good.
I fixed it too, jackass.
Jackass 1 is Jay Buddy. Jackass 2, Boiler Dad.
Let's go.
You're getting awfully comfortable around here, Niche. That's all I have to say.
That's right. I'm the only one that knows how to work these machines.
I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's it either.
It is the handsome hour.
You could say that a couple of years ago, just not anymore.
It's the handsome hour. John Younger asks if I passed concussion protocol. I don't know.
Nope,
I don't remember, so I don't know. Did I hit my head on something? Oh, here we go. Here comes everybody with the bits. John Faker asks how do I not have dedicated fiber lines to every computer in my castle?
That's a fair question, really.
This bit is
because every line would mean the butlers and the maids would have fiber
to
their computers, and they don't deserve them.
No. What kind of downtime do they have? It is the handsome hour. I'm Jay. I'm joined by Boiler Dad and Niche.
Hi,
the Swami. And there was a rumor of a quadrennial appearance by Michael, but
rumors are exaggerated.
Rumors are have yet to go confirmed, but it's still a possibility in theory.
He's questionable.
Exactly.
Questionable for tonight. Not out like he often is. He's like Brock Thompson. You get him like once a season, and it's fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great.
And it's awesome. But then the rest of the time, it's like
don't know. Don't know what the status
don't know what's going to happen. Every week you hear.
We hear he's getting better.
Yeah, exactly. I hear it's possible.
It may happen.
So, just as we all predicted, Purdue and Nebraska. Somebody said, are we talking about Nebraska tonight? And of course we are, because Purdue is
an ironic twist. We're not going to mention Nebraska tonight.
So, as everyone predicted, Nebraska and Purdue for the Big Ten West lead on Saturday. I think Kirk Herbstreit. They made fun of Kirk, by the way, on College Game Day because they said, "Hey, Kirk had Nebraska winning the West."
That's awesome
because he did.
Glad they brought that up.
And now they're ahead.
He didn't say Scott Frost. He said Nebraska.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't say how they were going to get there. Right. He just said they'd get there. Purdue opens. Oh,
gosh.
I didn't see what they opened at.
No.
But today, they are a 13.5-point favorite.
I hate this. I couldn't hate this more.
Oh, I very much hate it.
No.
I would much rather they be an under. How?
Know.
How the mighty have fallen. A Nebraska team that's won a couple games in a row is a 2-touchdown underdog to Purdue. Imagine, just think about that statement. Like, even what, 2 years ago? There's no way. If they come in with the same record or similar records, no way that happens. Like, that's incredible.
I mean, honestly, like, I know that we often think about like the non-noon games as the marquee matchups, but when it's a really fun matchup, I get like potentially high scoring fun matchup at noon, like everybody is watching. And I really do think that if Maryland would have won, they would have been in the same kind of favored spot as Purdue. Like Purdue is about 30th in the polls or something like that. Like that would have been Maryland's spot. They're very, like, at least this year, kind of very up and down, but, high floors, very talented, kind of similar teams that way. And so I think that kind of the reputations of them kind of, followed each other after the game. So it's like now Nebraska has been a running joke for a while. Meanwhile, Purdue goes for I can't remember, when was the last time Purdue won 4 games in a row? This is what we should have talked about in our pre-meeting and done some kind of
The last time they won
research on.
4 in a row.
It must be the Brahms first year, maybe second year.
Second year was not good.
I think they've done it more recently than that, don't you?
Second year they
know.
won 6 games. So I don't know. I will effort to find that while
you're doing that. Bring up Handel's question. I think it's a good question. I've got an answer for you.
Handel's question.
Handel says, "What's the weather forecast for Saturday?"
Good question.
Saturday let's see. Let me get it super accurate because right now I'm just looking at Fisher's. West Lafayette, 64 degrees. Low of 43. So I'm guessing at kickoff that would make it about 55.
How's the precipitation report? We don't care about cold, warm.
Clean and clear, according to the weather app that I use is WeatherBug. I like that one a lot.
There we go. 2018. Ted Berkey says we won 4 in a row. I think that is so. 2018.
So if you recall, you know why? That's the year everyone had expectations. They started 0-3 with the loss to Missouri we were all at, and then they reeled off 4 in a row. Boston College, Nebraska, Illinois, and Ohio State, the Tyler Trent game, made it 4 in a row, which that's why we forget that, because nobody, like, no matter
that was the least important part of that game.
Right. And then they lost the following week to Michigan State, but then beat number 16 Iowa the following week. So they won 5 out of 6.
Yeah. I'm telling you, they eat fettuccine Alfredo, and listen to slow smooth jazz in the off season. It takes them a while to rev up, but then then October, November rolls around.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, Boiler Dad was dreaming of a 3-1 October, and I will say he was dreaming because what?
I thought you were being ridiculous.
Most said I was dreaming.
I thought you were being ridiculous, but not really, because it was like 3-1. Right. You didn't say 4 and 4.
Nobody said it wasn't possible. Nobody said 4-1 because they're on 5 games.
I said
people called me stupid.
Yeah.
But they do that all the time anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you didn't believe it yourself. You said for this to still be a special season, 3-1 in October is necessary. But you weren't sitting there saying they're going to do that. You were in fact saying,
I was not.
And
it was actually it was like pessimism.
It was like
exactly. I would agree, Anish, because it was really saying this is how far off the special season is. You have to go 3-1 in the most difficult part of the schedule to get there, to even get to the entry gate.
They can still go 2-2, so let's not get too excited.
Absolutely.
They can still find a way to, but much better position than if they had lost one of those games and needed to win the rest of them. To be 2-0 feels like a luxury in this month that you need to go 3-1.
Yeah. I mean, and it the other part of this, I know you don't win the West based on whether it's road or home wins and losses, but like the 2 wins being in October being on the road, like that feels like it means something. AOC looking slightly better, kind of incrementally better the 2 games that he's been back, and those 2 last games, it means something. Also, like, he was clearly not 100% in the Maryland game, but he was still good enough to push Purdue to where they were, despite a disastrous third quarter for the entire offense. Imagine if the offense and defense plays good at the same time at some point. They would be great.
Crazy.
But again, like I was telling you, the one road trip I did want to make this year that J Money and I were planning was this Maryland game, because we all knew that Tagovailoa was going to be, Tagovailoa was going to be real. We all knew that. We didn't know that Purdue would be. We hoped that Purdue would be in contention for the West, but that was the road game to be at, and it seems like it's it may be one of the better trips of the year. So I was impressed. I was really impressed. And also, the rushing defense is doing well. The rushing offense, all of a sudden, Purdue is this juggernaut running offense. Like, who knew? Devin Mockabee is no longer cute. He look at this walk on. No, he's like going to be Purdue's number 1 next year.
I was bugging you during the game.
It really was, because it's like, and it's tough. Again, I get it. We went through this with AOC, where what is a fourth string walk on cannot possibly be like a really good, grow and develop into an actual starting caliber play, unquestioned starter player. I think we're at that point with Devin Mockabee, right? So it's like that's where this season has kind of turned on its head. Now, if only the passing offense could find any semblance, passing offense, passing defense could find semblances of consistency, and we stop allowing end of half touchdowns. It's like,
So can I do something real quickly, because this is something that I've struggled with too. The the perception versus the reality for Purdue is a little bit askew. Okay, if Purdue's passing offense is third in the Big Ten right now,
right, overall.
Okay,
right,
that's pretty respectable, and that's in spite of really looking lousy at times, right? I would say that I've watched a little bit of Nebraska, and Nebraska's overall defense, I think, is, let me see if I get this right. They are 11th in the Big Ten in passing defense. The formula for winning last year, and LBD brought this up because he's the brains of the operation. He said when a team is in the bottom half of the conference in passing defense, they need to fear Purdue, regardless of the situation, really, right? Regardless of how well Purdue's doing that, at that point, if they're in rhythm, that sort of thing. Okay. And do you guys agree with that formula? Is it that simple still, that passing defense is going to define if you're playing? Let's think back to last year, right? Michigan State is the thing that caused him to think this way. When AOC sees tendencies, he picks them apart, right? So Nebraska is not a very good defense. We know that. We've been making fun of the black shirt thing for a long time. But when you look at Nebraska's defense, you look at Purdue's offense increasing its potency, if you will. Does that make you think that 13, 14 point spread is a possibility?
I don't trust it. I don't trust Purdue's consistency enough. I get it. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but Purdue has to be consistent in order for that to happen. And they will go. I mean, let's look at each side of the ball. The offense will have times like the first quarter and the kind of end of the game, that last kind of go ahead drive against Maryland. But then they'll also have times like that third quarter where it's like nobody is on the same page. Everybody is turning the ball over. Long plays are, overturned by either penalty or kind of a quick 3 and out. And then the defense looks tremendous during the third quarter, looks tremendous just before just at the end of that first quarter, beginning of the second quarter. But then right at the end of the second quarter, they give up, with 30 seconds left. Corey Trice, who has been playing really well this year, gives up a play over the top.
He got toasted on that.
Again, just like the Penn State game, free 7 points to a good team. You can't do that. At the end of the game, as Purdue is trying to put it away, you need one stop. And Purdue can't get it until the second 2-point conversion try. It's like, I think that this Purdue team is destined to play in coin flip games just down the stretch every game. And I don't see, we haven't seen all year, like them put it together, even, I mean, I guess, Indiana State, but like against real teams, which Nebraska still
even
kind
Indiana
of qualifies
State
as realer than Indiana State. But
even Indiana State, I don't think any of us came away looking at that like, I think
they were vanilla.
You can't really learn anything
special, and I don't think that's a good barometer. I think when you look at the rest of their schedule, they've won by 2, 10, and 3, 2, 10, and 2, aside from the Indiana State game. So, like, yeah, to your point, Anish, there's no relaxing and enjoying. I will say I would very much enjoy a Purdue blowout over Nebraska. I just want to put that on the record.
It seems like you would. It seems like that would go.
Not as much as I wanted Purdue to end Scott Frost. That would have been the perfect little bow on the whole Scott Frost experience. So I really kind of wanted that.
What's his name? Mickey Joseph, Vance Joseph's brother. Yeah. And so apparently he's got a real shot at the I was
thinking about this today. What do you think? So let me tell you what I think he would have to do. I think, and this would be hilarious to me, if he wins the West and then wins the Big Ten title game, you would have to keep him. right?
I think if he wins the West,
wins the
he's
West,
coach.
he's there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, that's what I'm saying would be hilarious because I don't think they really want him as their head coach.
I don't think they do either.
I think they like him. I think the fans like him. I think the players like him. I think he's a good guy and he's a Nebraska guy. But I think they want a flashier hire, don't they?
Oh, so at this point, would the flashier hire be Rule? Would it be like there you go? Would the flashier hire be Matt Rule? Would it be Matt Campbell? Would it be Lance Leipold? Like, to me, I don't think that Nebraska would considers Lance Leipold a flashy hire.
Nope.
Like I think
Matt Rule would be.
So Matt Rule is the interesting one now. I think Matt Campbell, again, because they're
those
morons.
are the two flashy. I think those are
to me. I think they're morons. Like, they're only looking at Matt Campbell this season and not understanding that he already took them through a full 6-year cycle of being really good, and now it's a reload year. To me, it's like I don't think that they have a guy with coaching pedigree. They have a guy who's a Nebraska guy. If they have it, that resurrected the Scott Frost disaster and turned it into, remember, they didn't make a bowl game during Scott Frost's tenure.
But what's he going to turn it into? Well, what's he going to turn into? Beating this Big Ten West is not.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
if Purdue wins
resume to say, "Oh, he's the future of our program." Necessarily, I'm not saying it's. I mean, somebody's got to win it. But
he's a Nebraska. First of all, if Purdue won the Big Ten West, we're going to be celebrating. This is our goal.
I agree, but I'm not saying that that's the determining. Oh, winning it this year means clearly you've got a great team. It means you had the team that survived it. No,
I think if you could get, he's a Nebraska guy. He understands that program. He resurrected Scott Frost's disaster of a tenure. Very nice. And he would have, I mean, again, they didn't make a bowl during Scott Frost's tenure, let alone contend for the West. So I think if he does that, you can get him on a discount and spend an absurd amount of money on the assistant coaches, right? And so one of the biggest ways to do that, like, all of a sudden, like, Nebraska is going to be up for Purdue because it seems like that locker room likes him. It seems like they want to play for him more than Scott Frost. And so all of a sudden you've got a motivated team that doesn't lack for talent trying to come into.
I'm glad that they've won their last two, though, going into this game.
Exactly.
Much more than if they.
Oh, yeah.
I think not much more. I mean, I guess I would rather they be completely defeated and having quit already. That would be great. But I do like that they're kind of riding high. Like, oh, we got some wins there. You got some wins over some good teams.
Scott Frost could not. They got into close games and they won them. They are not used to this.
Amazing.
Amazing.
I like Bullard's question, though. I think they could put it together this weekend because, to me, it feels like now maybe it's when Brock Thompson comes back and the offense has a few more weapons, but this offense has to explode at some point. They've scored points. Don't make no mistake. Scoring 31 against Penn State looks pretty good right now. Scoring 29 or whatever it was.
That's the whole thing they're statistically not as bad as it feels. That's because of the droughts, right? Just because of those droughts.
Yeah.
It's so close. I mean, again,
right.
Like half a minute away, maybe 45 gameplay seconds away from 5-0 or 6-0.
Yeah,
like bowl eligible.
Let me ask you this: would you be shocked if they put up 40 on Nebraska? I wouldn't.
No. I was saying, like we were saying 35. Before, I was predicting 1-3 in October, but then Jay, you asked, like, would you be surprised if they did 3-0 or 4-1, or 3-1, 4-0? And it's like, no, because it's Brahm teams, and all of a sudden, when they wake up, they wake up.
They wake up, yeah. So here's my big opinion about why the offense is the way it is.
This is relaxed.
I think it's.
You're looking at.
I know he's lounging. He's got his feet up. He put his. For those of you only listening, he put his robe on. He's got the pipe that he's currently stuffing.
No, I thought I'd try something new. I don't usually do this.
I like it, relaxed and pensive.
No.
My opinion on the reason this offense is this way this year is it all comes back to Jeff Brahm overthinking everything. I think it's that simple. I think he thinks that when we've talked about it before, when he trusts and doesn't trust the quarterback, right? We talked about that in previous seasons. He trusts AOC. That's not the issue. The issue is the other parts around him. I think Coach Brahm doesn't trust all these guys to understand the concepts or to do exactly what they need to do. That's the second part of it. Why doesn't Purdue run many trick plays? Because I don't think he thinks they're ready to do them.
How could they not be ready with AOC?
It's not AOC. It's the wide receivers.
Nobody
the
else is
core
going to do
not
their
being
job.
what he should be. Yep.
I miss the trickery.
I totally miss the trickery. I love the trickery.
They had a couple of funky.
I'm an American.
Things.
I like explosions.
They had a couple of funky fullback formations.
Okay, listen to what you're saying. We're now down to funky formations. This is a guy who, in year 1 or 2, he said, plan on 40 to 50 trick plays this year. Didn't he say something like that?
Yeah,
but you do.
And there were like 3
because we talked about how many boop pop pop pop. How many does 50
trick play? Trick plays are when you think you need to make up for a talent.
True.
Differentiation, right? And like all of a sudden, like Purdue's got the line on both sides of the ball to like actually run,
right.
which is a foreign feeling for us.
Illegal to do them though.
I know. Hey, I mean, like again, though, we're asking for Brock Thompson, who would be, a shot in the arm for the offense, but like TJ Sheffield looked really good.
Oh, he looked really good. He makes big catches. Like that's the thing. He's been clutch this year.
I mean, big on third downs this last game. Payne Durham was awesome.
Payne Durham again, dragging guys to the end zone. It's my favorite. Payne Durham,
just making them look like children.
The best Payne Durham.
It's like kids hanging on a jungle gym.
I love it. Like that, his right stiff arm was just gnarly. Right, the guy's his like whoa, and then he turns his
down.
Bang, headbutts to the left.
I love when he slows down to do it. It's like he enjoys it too much.
Yeah.
Come on, he doesn't want to get to the end zone. It's like, okay, let's go. You want to go?
Let's dance for the next 20 yards. I'll do that.
But that was right at the end of the game, and I think all of us in our different corners of the earth were yelling, "Go down, don't go in yet!"
Right.
Well, and that was the play at the end, right, where we were all like, "Hopefully, Brahm has learned from these games, and he'll run the ball to run the clock out." And they ran it like once, and then they were like, "Nope, got to throw again," and it worked this time. But if that had been an incomplete and given the ball back, we would have been really upset.
Wait, wasn't that the?
No. So at the end of the
drive where
at the end of the game, he dove a couple times. Like
he dove basically
a
line.
It was basically kneel.
Yeah. By the way, we sometimes share it. I was going to say I put these on Twitter sometimes when my mom sends a text. So she sent me a text. You guys will like this. You'll love this because you know how we've talked about your mom too. Just no idea how sports work. No understanding of just they'll watch and yay. But my mom says, "Did you watch?"
So she at the wrong time. She's been watching football her whole life. That's the thing. It's sad.
This is my mom's analysis of the game. I feel like they figured out how to close out a game. Really?
Hey, it's good. It's just about as good of insight as we can provide here.
Well, but they literally got an 8-point lead and then again let the team come all the way down and score. And if not for a penalty on a 2-point conversion, they would not have closed out the game.
They cannot stop. They cannot help but make this a just a hard.
Treating my mom's texts like a bad Twitter feed,
right?
I'm trying ripping it publicly.
She deserves better than that.
No, she doesn't. She's been watching it for years too. You think that was not a good close? That was not a good close.
It was.
They started 0-2 in close games, and now they're 3-2 in close games. I say hats off.
Yes,
Mrs. Money.
I say, can we stop playing close games, please?
Yes,
I can't handle this anymore.
Goodness gracious!
I did like Mike Loxley saying that the illegal guy downfield who was like 5 yards into the end zone blocking a safety had nothing to do with the play. Well, yeah, you know why he had nothing to do with the play?
Doesn't matter if he had anything to do with the play.
But he took the safety out of it, so it had nothing to do with the play because the ball wasn't thrown there.
But it doesn't matter. That's the stupidest analysis ever. The refs don't call it based on if it has anything to do with the play. They call it if he's downfield.
And the other part of it is in the end zone. It's not in the end zone. They don't call it unless you're at the back of the end zone, right? And this happened almost near the back of the in the second half of the end zone. You got to be more subtle than that if you're if you're.
Well, in my response to somebody today who was criticized, I said he's a coach. Coaches know that he knows better than that. He is just saying what he knows Maryland fans want to hear. I think.
I gotta shout out to our guy Dylan.
Yes.
He's going to be honest. He slept most of the game, but made it past the. Made the post-wedding hangover easier when he saw Purdue won. Congratulations to him and his lovely that we met at the game. Shout out to both of you.
I don't know if you guys saw that I put on Twitter when he said that he was married. I put the GIF of the everyone saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, we've got him," and I'm saying that on behalf of all the married guys. We got another one. We got another one reeled in.
Another one claimed on our side.
It's yeah. Next thing, people will be like, "Have kids, it's the greatest thing ever." Then you'll have kids, you'll be like, "Wait a minute, I've been duped again. This is a lot of work."
I'm gonna tell you, and you do too. This is the dumb thing about Jay talking like that. The best thing that's ever happened to Jay. It's either Mrs. Money or his boys. Period. Absolutely. There's not even a close second.
Besides Anish.
It's true,
right? Yeah, that's.
I mean, I was gonna object, but like that's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Mrs. Money likes me better anyway, so it's okay.
That's true too.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. Anytime she sees a picture or a video of Anish, she goes, "He's so cool." I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I say too.
What's the matter with you? Gosh.
He's so cool. Now that sounds like my mom right there.
Exactly.
My mom would
exactly. Thank you.
Goodness.
Hey, I'll take the demographic.
At least we know.
Exactly.
That's a true statement.
Yeah.
She's not old enough for you, but
we asked this question, by the way, a couple of years ago. I think we have a lady among us in our. I know we do. I know we have a lady among us. At least one is listening, watching live.
Okay. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. But if I offend, I've been known to do it. It's not intentional. How old is a cougar? Did we decide on that?
We talked about this off air last
Yes,
week.
and I asked my son his
He
opinion.
doesn't know what that means?
Yes, he knows what.
Of course he does. He's a rowdy teenager that's looking at
shut
going
up.
to UNC. Of course he does.
So the hilarious thing was you asked me, and I said 50's a cougar,
Right.
and you astutely said, I think it's a sliding scale.
I think it's a sliding scale. I think that's true.
I always spit my drink out reading Handle Jones's Anisha's so exotic line. It's the best.
Right.
Is he reading through what she
thing.
means by that? Is that what she's saying? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, I think so.
It's not what she said. You asked me and I said 50. You said, I think it's a sliding scale because now we're older.
Yes.
So you asked your wife.
So we're
and she
in the
said,
age where a college kid would say, "Oh, you're past the age where the cougars start becoming cougars."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in college, I think it was 40 in college.
Probably. It's not about, there's Nicole chiming in. Yeah, there's your one female listener. It's not about her age. It's about
that makes it a sliding.
difference.
That makes it a sliding scale. Thank you. She's the expert.
Scale.
Yeah.
Michael says the Cougars start in their 40s. Okay. So there you
good.
go.
I think we're starting to triangulate.
We're circling a consensus here.
Yeah. I got to tell you. So as a man who's married to a cougar,
man, Dr. Wattis is in the house. PS Analytics Desk age of cougar from Todd.
We'll type it into the computer. We'll bang it into the computer. We'll see what it spits out.
Right. No, I don't know. That's a good idea.
Getting warm.
But as a guy who's married to a cougar, I always say I is that the wrong thing to say? No, but I always I'm so impressed when it's like this is I'm gonna go down a road I shouldn't go to, or I shouldn't do it.
Oh, it's too late now. You can't reel that back in.
No,
I was gonna say I'm more impressed by women that are older that are really attractive than younger ones now.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm like, that's easy. They can do that without even trying.
Exactly.
It's like what we say when we look at you, Boiler Dad. It's
right.
Getting that physique when you're young is easy.
But this
is a lot of work, man. This doesn't that doesn't roll out of bed. Come on now.
This doesn't just happen. Well, so we all agree Purdue's going to beat the spread, right? Is that where we came to?
No, I think that's where we landed.
I'm so worried.
No, if I were going to bet,
I think
how could you not listen? If you're there's people out there who think gambling is like, science and you can always win instead of what it really is.
If it was, everyone would be rich from it. Right?
Exactly. So
you'd read that book and it'd be easy.
So if you are going to apply logic to your gambling with Purdue sports, there's no way you can bet Purdue to cover this game. Okay. Because Nebraska can score, right? You know that they can score that. So like if they couldn't, if you were playing Iowa and they were They gave up as much as Nebraska gives up, and they had their. Then you want to say they'll cover 2 touchdowns? Fine.
What was the? Hold on, hold on. You mentioned it. We have to bring it up. We have to bring up this fraud of a program that's literally last in offensive yards and employs the son of the coach who has never held another job. What was it? At midfield, they punted. They generated a turnover inside the 10-yard line against Illinois. Two of them, yes.
I think they had the ball twice. Went negative on both offensive possessions, but punted 72 yards worth of punting and wound up in field goal range. Right?
Just a tremendous fraud of a program. I cannot believe that they're allowed to do this. How long until Iowa fans are sick? Like, by what? How long? How long until
there was an NFL team a long time ago, and I don't remember. I don't think it was the '85 Bears, but it was one of those teams with a phenomenal defense. And I watched one of those NFL films, and one of the defensive players, in a true cut down of his offense, said, "We used to say stuff to the offense like, see if you can hold them, we'll score when we're out there next time." And that's such a great dig. The defense basically saying, "We'll score. Don't worry about it, you idiots." And that's like the
Ravens. That's like the not what was it, Kyle Bowler? No, it was who did they win? Trent Dilfer. It was when Trent Dilfer was quarterback, and the offense
Super Bowl
of the Ravens
champ,
was the defense.
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, they beat the Giants. They beat the Giants. Super Bowl 30.
Yeah, in the face.
That was the terrible offense. They had they won, and they scored 30, I think, in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Absurd.
It's fraudulent football. It's fraudulent football. So yes.
How many more points a game does Purdue score than Iowa by average?
Does Iowa? So you got to average out the
I'm looking at it.
Purdue scores. I'm not looking. I would say 30 plus a game.
Okay, good.
Iowa scores
single
17
digits
a game.
Okay,
14 a game. 17.
I go under. If the under.
I'm going to say 13 points.
Okay. I'm going to say 11.
Over. No.
Anisha's, you went from. I thought you said single digits, Anisha, but you guys are both. You're right around it. 14.7. Purdue scores 13.2. And this is, and we were just talking. Think about how much we were slamming Purdue's lack of consistency, lack of explosiveness, kind of, right? We were saying, wow, they really haven't hit the stride yet. And they're scoring nearly 20 points a game more than Iowa. And by the way, Iowa hasn't played a world beater of a schedule. They're just
Did you see that clip that was going around where he said, "What do you think the most overrated stat?"
Amazing.
And Kirk Ferentz said, "Offensive yards." It's just so good. It's just so good. And his response whenever somebody asks about having the worst offense of the last 18 months is, "How many games did we win last year?" Which is exactly what he would say if you were committing insurance fraud.
Oh, that's what a jerky fan says. Scoreboard.
No, this is entertainment. Good. This is not entertaining.
Mo has a good question. Does points per game include defensive points? It's scoring offense. So yes, it does. So Anisha's single digit is closer to reality.
Yeah. Because
it's probably defense, that'd be 8 or 9 points a game then.
Their defense was at one point the highest scoring defense of the season. And they somehow still end up with a winning record. This cannot continue to stand. I don't know. Is he the president of Iowa? Is that how this works? Not of the university, of the state. Is that how this works?
So the just to jump ahead, the matchup predictor for Purdue and Iowa, which is November 5th. So we got a couple weeks till that game.
Yeah, some time.
It has Purdue has 70% likely to win. So everything.
I hate that.
I hate it so much.
Everything is coming up Purdue right now. This is something Anisha said before. Everybody wants Brahm to win. Everybody wants Painter to win. It's a nice position to be in, as opposed to years ago when it seemed like Purdue could never get respect. Now there's this weird.
Why don't they just win? Why don't they just listen? Just listen and win.
Why don't they like you to do it? Success? I keep saying that.
That's a great question. Why do they hate success? Why do you hate success, Purdue? They like success, just not too much. Just
they don't want to rub people's faces in it.
Too polite. They're too polite, is what you're saying.
We won't want to run out of trophy. There's only so much room for so many trophies in the football complex.
And the Sweet 16 banners take up all of those space.
They do. Yeah. You don't start making my jokes, buddy.
I know,
buddy boy.
I know, that's good. I made it at the wedding with an IU fan, and we were both talking about how bad everything is. And we're like, our version of bad is like we're miles ahead. That's okay.
Right. You still play the second weekend every year, but that's all. There's no.
It's fine.
So
we either overachieved.
Here,
to
let's
it or
keep going.
underachieved
Let's
to
make
it.
this the Iowa Handsome Hour. It used to be the Nebraska Handsome Hour. It's all going to be
We did 20
Western
minutes on
teams.
Iowa, on Nebraska.
How many touchdowns has Iowa had this season?
Ooh,
Can I
6.
cheat?
Okay, how many offensive touchdowns?
Okay.
Iowa had
Yeah,
this season? That's more fun.
I'll go with 6. It seems like too much, but I'm gonna go with 6.
They've had
Legit, I'm just gonna go with 6.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'll say under. I'll say 5.
Okay, so they've had 5 rushing touchdowns. So
Any passing?
wrong, Jay. 2 passing touchdowns.
Oh, Spencer
Awesome season.
Petras.
Awesome season.
It's when
Somebody pointed out, how is Spencer Petras
It's
still starting?
incredible.
Wouldn't you?
It's
like,
because they don't believe in offense. It's fine.
It's not that they don't have anyone else. It's that he's fine. He's enough.
Yeah,
He's-
exactly. He's a body. He's got several liters of blood in him. It's fine.
They're one
Can you
game
bring
out
up
of the
Ben?
lead.
Ben has a smart aleck comment on here. Let's bring that up on the Ben Carnahan about midway down there. Anish, can you?
Ted Berkey's just cheating and looking at his stats.
Yeah,
by the way.
exactly.
He
Ted
answered
Berkey's
you.
cheating.
This is yeah.
Baloney. Baloney, Ted. I don't buy it. Dowd, you dislike Boilermaker name, but you don't like being a favorite against the trash Iowa team at home. No,
That's a fair
no.
criticism.
That's
No,
a fair
that's fair.
criticism. That's fair, I guess. But who likes being
Whoa.
a heavy favorite? Because heavy favorite, all the pressure's on the favorite.
What the hell happened in the sidebar? What's going on over there?
We've gotten so much.
We've got
We've gotten
spam.
so much
Spam?
traction. We're on the spams.
How about that? I'm going to check out that link. What the heck?
Click on it. What could go wrong?
Yeah, what can go wrong, John Faker?
John. Oh, man.
Give her a try. Give it a whirl.
Ugh.
In the world. Wow. Does that mean have we just hit a threshold? Now we're
Yeah, we're at
We're
the
attracted
spam.
to
We're at
spam?
the spam limit. This is how many people are into Purdue football right now and watching the Handsome
Man.
Hour live on YouTube, where you can subscribe for all of Boiler Down's quick guests. You can subscribe for every live Handsome Hour. You can get links to his Redbubble stickers. You can get links to martinvintage.com to get 50% off Martin Vintage. Enter Boiled for
I don't know.
15%
Say
off.
that. It sounds
And
like you're saying 50, but you're saying 15.
15.
I could be saying,
Who can know? Who
who
remembers?
knows?
No, unless
Who
you do
knows?
it. You got to go make the purchase yourself. You won't know.
You
until
could
you've-
find a
you've
great
paid
link
for
to
it.
AJ's Burgers and Beef there,
Burgers,
in
beef,
the
beer.
comments.
I missed the third B.
Oh, there's
when I
3
did mine.
Bs
There's
now.
3 Bs.
Goodness. Wild.
Yeah.
I knew them when
Don't
they were just
poke
1
the
B.
bottom of your draft
That's right.
beer or it will leak on you.
Dylan has the best point. Google picked up on the word cougar.
I know.
That's
See, this is what you get.
absolutely
This is
right.
what happens. Do you see
That's
what
right.
happens when both
Thank
of you
you.
do this?
Wait,
Both of you
yeah.
deserve to be in
What
timeout.
suggested things you're going to get on your phone the next time you open up.
Oh no, you're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is putting both of you in timeout.
Yeah,
This is what happens.
yeah. That's we deserve what we get.
So, Boiled Sports. Ben says Boiled Sports After Dark Cougar Edition. We used to have the Boiled Sports After Dark. That was fun.
We did.
That was wasn't it After Dark?
Yeah. Well, now it's
Yeah.
after dark because it's the kids' bedtime.
That's
after
right.
dark.
That's there's no doubt.
John says hot boilers.
John,
in your area.
Dr. John says
Hot boilers in your area. They
Good
hate
job,
this one
guys.
simple trick.
It's good. It's fine. This is what happens when you talk about Iowa football. It's okay.
Oh yeah, exactly. Somebody tries
I
to.
know, we
ruin
got to
the
get on.
feed.
We got to get
It's like,
back on. We got to
yeah,
get on more
yeah.
pressing
That moved
matters
to a
like
real sport.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
It's telling us to keep talking about Nebraska is what it is. We spent too much time not talking about Nebraska on the Nebraska Handsome Hour,
Yeah.
and so we need to talk about them.
I just.
It's
whenever you guys
interesting
are
that I'm not driven at all to talk about Nebraska right now. It's-
Yeah, weird,
it's
right?
because they've got a competent head coach. They're perfectly fine. They're
Right,
good.
right. It's a
This
little
is what
scary.
happens.
So
Yeah.
yeah. I made the mistake of not mistake. I went and solicited actual feedback this week from.
Kevin Spry says, "Quote nude Purdue Pete." That's the search you put in the
Yeah,
you
but
gotta-
do it in safe search and it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
that'd be fine. You could do that artificial intelligence that program.
Oh yeah,
is-
the combined.
You'll get something there that'll be, yeah. Boiler in Texas is with me on this. Purdue's new basketball uniforms are so clean. And I completely agree. I like them a lot. I was expected to be let down, sadly. I don't know why I had lowered my expectations. They're good. They're really good.
Well, I think
And the black with the gold, I love them. I think
your criticism over the years, and I've always found this to be it's a good point and a valid one, is that it seems like Purdue's designs were always, after all the prime Nike schools got them, Purdue would then get them like a season or two later. And so I think you always were conditioned to feel let down because it was always like, well, that looks just like Kentucky's 3 years ago.
I don't think they look like anybody's. I really don't. And people say they are, but
did you see I said to you guys, I feel like, I think your point about the nod to the wooden era is really good on the arch, but it feels very hickory to me. That's like the hickory curving thing.
I think that's an old timey era, you know, and I couldn't think of, maybe you guys are better at this than me recalling designs, but an arch that aggressive, the only one I could think of is the Pacers with kind of the circular.
Well, so a lot of the NBA teams are trying to do the similar kind of circle based logo, right? So you get that kind of aggressive
Nike's doing
one.
it.
The Knicks have one like that. It's not their primary, but it's like a
which is like why again, like for the Pacers, it's, you know, the basketball has always been in the logo. It kind of makes sense. Like it makes sense. The Knicks have like an iconic logo. What are you doing? Like why
basketball
are you
in their logo too? What are you talking about?
Yeah, but it's like it's the triangle. It's the orange triangle is like their logo, right? Like that's the main part of it. For the Pacers, it's always been the P with the basketball in it, right? And so like stick with the thing. Like you don't have to
mess with the brand.
I like the curve. It's simple. Again, like the stadium rollout, it seemed like an aggressive rollout for like a good. I mean, it was good. It's good. It's solid.
But I think that's the thing now. Everything's got to be a big buildup. And it's just like
they didn't want that buildup to be like that. I don't think because we heard them saying over and over, both colors aren't in yet, so we can't do the photo shoot. That was the problem they had.
I like the shorts a lot. I will there is a good chance that if they're selling them, you know, the next time I end up on Purdue's campus, I may be ending up with a pair, but we'll see.
How many jerseys do you own right now, Anish?
I just a couple, but like I haven't bought a jersey in a while. And especially a new one. Like it's always like vintage jerseys is usually what I buy, but I haven't bought a jersey in a while.
Jay,
Basketball shorts.
What do you do have in your closet right now?
Of any jersey or Purdue jersey?
Any jersey.
I don't wear virtually any of them, but I probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6.
Yeah, mine's
so,
like
you know, this is where people get just angry about this discussion, saying grown men aren't supposed to wear jerseys. You've heard it before.
I live in Pittsburgh, and so
wear what you want to wear. I mean, if you look like a tool, that's how you wear it. I have some
agreed. You could look like a badass.
I have friends that wear jerseys, and they're still pretty cool dudes. So
Well, so here's what I do to not feel weird about it. I think if you're wearing a jersey of someone your age or older, that's a little. I would feel a little weird wearing a jersey of someone 25 years or 30 years younger than me. I think that would be a little strange, but that's my own thing. I'm not judging you if you want to do it. I have a Rangers jersey of a player who was popular in the late 80s that I always liked. And so he's like 20 years older than me. So I feel okay about that. My 2 Purdue ones are a John Standiford.
Is it Messier?
No, I don't. No.
Okay.
It's Mike.
It's the only one I could think of. It's the only
Mike Gardner.
old-timey.
You probably wouldn't even know him. He was a great goal scorer.
Okay.
My only Purdue ones are John Standiford for football.
Yeah,
and
that's a cool one.
And a Konzo gold Purdue jersey.
That's a cool one.
Gold with the white and the arch Purdue.
Oh,
when they were.
Yeah. How come I've never seen that one?
Because I'm too fat for it now. First of all, wearing basketball,
you cut it up the side, make gussets, so it just flies over like a
great idea.
Double cake.
That's a great idea. Yeah. So a basketball jersey, especially from that era, is tough to pull off as an extremely white guy. Tough to.
You got to be at a beach or on your boat.
Exactly. If you're in the summer, doesn't look weird at all to wear that on the beach or on the boat when you're wearing a bathing suit and it's perfect. Right. Perfect.
You're wearing your Speedo and your skin tight Konzo jersey.
You have to tuck your jersey in so the end of the jersey comes out of the leg holes.
Oh, Chris Harder, our friend CJ Poppin, another friend of the show. Everybody's here tonight.
Yeah.
He says
he's a big hockey guy, so this makes sense.
Yes, he says the only acceptable jersey to wear as an adult is a hockey jersey. Now, you guys, even though you're not huge hockey guys, you have to agree a hockey jersey.
Well, they're cool.
they work well as a big. It's like wearing a hoodie.
So I understand
comfortable.
why, but why is a football jersey different? You know
Football
what I'm
jersey is
saying?
probably next. Football
Yeah.
jersey is probably next.
But like, and also like a basketball jersey on a beach or on a hot day or near a pool or whatever. Like
Well, you're adding all
moments for
sorts
all
of caveats to it. That's
Yeah, but like if you're at like Coachella and you're walking around in a hockey jersey, something went wrong in your head right there. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah,
I
because
think you
it's
can do
heavy.
that.
It's heavy and it's sunny and it's there. It just depends. It just depends. There are times for jerseys and there are some time. And basketball shorts are the thing that should be default worn in your house. If you walk around in jeans in your house, again, there's something wrong with you.
Well, now we're going on to shorts. That's a very different thing. I'm not going to wear
Exactly.
hockey pants around my house. That would be very weird.
They fit huge. You don't have
Could you
pads
imagine
on
just
underneath
taking
them?
the dog on a walk in a pair of hockey pants?
There was a guy in my adult league team who would wear his hockey pants he would drive to the rink in his hockey pants because I guess he wanted to change faster. So I don't know if you guys are familiar. Hockey pants
You don't have to get there as early.
That was probably what it was. They're
Purdue's
very
a hockey
very,
club, by the way, Mo Hill, not a team, not a varsity.
They're very bulky. They're very like I don't know how he would get
thick.
in his car.
They're thick. It's thick.
Yeah, they're all padded and like
right.
They're like medieval pants where it's like you gotta watch out for lances.
Like chainmail, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like a whole process of like tying over.
Everything's heavy on you.
Exactly.
Yeah. We got a few people who like hockey. We got some credit for some hockey talk. I will be at the Rangers home opener tomorrow night. Boiler Dad always gets excited when I go to hockey games in like October because he's like, it's football season. What are you doing?
You know what my answer for every sport to get better? Contract.
Shorter seasons, fewer teams.
I think
everything gets better. The talent pool gets better.
Sport, just less of it.
Hockey in the NBA, 82 or like in that range is like it's
so many MLB,
baseball
NHL,
is too
NBA.
many.
Gosh, too much.
Baseball's a lot.
And NASCAR's another one. NASCAR never stops. They get like a 2-week break.
It's almost like they just keep driving around and around and around, and that's it. That's the whole sport.
No, in NASCAR's break like 3 months, 2 months.
Not even.
It
crazy. It starts in like February. Daytona's in February.
And then they're like, why can't we get anybody come to this race that happens 3 times in the same location? Really? You're really scratching your head on this?
You have a lot of options.
That's right. If you miss that one, don't worry. In 2 weeks, we'll be back to the same story.
I think the All-Star race is November. So I think it is like a 2-month break, maybe.
What's an All-Star race? I'm not trying to be funny. Are they all in one car? Like all the best drivers are in one, giving pointers to the guy who's behind the wheel?
That's right. They're all backseat driving.
No. Turn left. Turn left.
Not that left. A little bit less.
Ben Carnahan says, speaking of hockey, did you know Edie played? There. I don't know if you guys knew.
I've never seen this. Really?
I wish there was footage. That's the other thing.
There's never footage. We always just talk about it and show the same picture. There's never footage.
Yeah, I wish I'm in a little league baseball jersey.
A 7-foot guy on skates. I want to see it.
Man,
I need all.
Let me do my math real quick. That's over 7 feet tall on skates.
That is over 7 feet tall on skates. You're almost 7 feet tall on skates.
I am. They're very tall.
It's close.
I can't stop in hockey skates. When I rent them, it's trouble.
You're one of those guys, right? You just crash into the boards.
Oh, it's so bad. Like I try, I can't do it.
It's hard, man.
So I'm like, I get it almost every time. I'm not kidding because I go ice skating once every 2 years. Okay,
nice.
So I'll go and I'll rent them. Like, yeah, I'll get the hockey skates. I go almost every time. I take them back. Could I have figure skates, please?
Okay,
please. Excuse me. Those were too fast. I can't stop, and I can't really go either.
You're not graceful. You'd think you need to be more graceful on the ice, which is why you
don't
get the graceful skates.
Graceful person? That's shocking.
I do. It's great. It's perfect. I don't know the last time I have gotten on skates. I can't tell you the last time I've been on skates.
Last winter.
Why does that not surprise me?
It's going to be a while. It was last winter for me. So
I turned my ankle in normal shoes, and so it's like painful. On razor blades. I'm good, man.
On razor blades. I wanted to reveal, by the way, the shirt that I have on.
Oh, look at that!
I was just wearing it. Oh, the CJ Poppins pub shirt. Shout out to
Is Chris
Poppins.
still on? I wonder if Chris is still on. We'll know in a second if he's still on.
Oh,
good.
baby, coming in hot with the
got it
spam.
back. This is what happens when you see J Money stripping on the, stripping down to
he
a
starts
t-shirt.
taking his clothes off.
This
and
is what
and
happens.
Spam hits us.
So I put the word out on Twitter and actually asked people for things, and got some responses. So you guys let me know when you want to pivot over there, since we're 50 minutes in. Uh-oh.
Oh no!
I got it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What the hell happened? We lost our
commenters. Hope not.
So
are you saying can we go over to the Twitter, my phone? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying if you
Let's do it.
I have stuff for you.
If you got many. If you've got
if I don't,
many,
then we can't. What are we on?
No, I mean, because before I think you said you only had a couple people last week or something. So
yeah,
if you got a lot, why not get out? I mean, like I think we've analyzed really effectively and deeply analyzed the Nebraska game already. I mean, what else could you say?
Did we lose the chat, Anish?
No, it's moving now. It's moving.
Go on.
It's not on mine.
You may have
looks
lost
like
it.
your embed link is invalid.
It's good. It's fine.
You're
Keep
good.
going.
You're good on this side, so you don't need to know.
So one thing I wanted to make sure that we and we can retweet this, but Noodle says it'd be cool if we gave his wingman Will a shout, and it's a picture of his guy Will. And since we were talking about hockey, this is perfect. Will does sled hockey, and we wanted to give Will a shout out. So if he's listening, Will, thanks for listening. And
let's all say it. Will, thanks for listening, Anish.
Will, it's fine. You listen. It's good. It's fine. I'm not going to go overboard here.
Yeah, I mean, 3 thanks. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and playing sled hockey, man, I don't. That's phenomenal. Can
you tell me what sled hockey is?
There's a picture in our feed. It's folks without.
I try not to
legs.
check it so I don't get any surprises ruined.
It's folks without the use of their legs in a sled, and they're playing with their hands only. They've got 2 little hockey sticks in their hands, and they're using them to move around.
That's
on
macho,
the ice
man.
and shoot with your arms,
dude.
Yeah.
If you've actually same thing like actual like legitimately high speed basketball, it's insane. Like the amount of amount of coordination and upper body strength that you need, it's like I can barely walk up the steps, man. I can't do it.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
So the Noodle's actual question for us, he said, it's an off-topic question. Would you rather? This would be interesting to see what you guys go with. Would you rather be a scratch golfer or a master chef with a kitchen to match your skills?
Oh, kitchen! Give me the kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 47 years old.
Oh, I want the kitchen, man.
I want really good food. I want to impress people when they come over. I try to do it anyway, and I'm not that good of a cook.
And a nice kitchen, it's just like it just looks it. Oh, I want a good kitchen. I want a good outdoor kitchen, like Guy Fieri's kitchen. Yeah. Oh man, his outdoor kitchen. That's the way to do it.
The way you said that, Boiler.
That's how you said. Yeah, man.
Ooh.
I'm trying to manifest my dreams of being a
Ramaswamy.
chef.
Oh,
I'm trying to manifest it. If I enjoy being bad at golf and enjoying the outdoor scenery and the extracurricular activities more than the actual golf itself. So
bring up Ken's comment. I want to address this because I think this is important, Ken.
This one?
Ken says cleaning dishes sucks. Golf. Okay, now let me tell you something, Ken. Here's the deal. Here's how you do it. So if you become the good cook, I'm going to tell you a Dow.
You've done your part.
You've already done your part. That's right.
Yeah.
So your wife needs to clean the dishes if you've done the cooking. Now, conversely, if she's the cook, now you got to do the dishes.
Divisional
become
labor,
the good cook. Do you see my point? I think fair is fair.
Here's everybody has their chore that they enjoy doing. I love doing dishes, man, and I hate anybody else doing my dishes. Everybody else messes them up. They don't do them right, and it's therapeutic for me. I love it. Oh, I love doing dishes.
Will do the dishes, and she doesn't like anyone else to load the dishwasher. I will load the dishwasher, and then I'll come back to put something else in, and I'll notice it's rearranged. And I'll be like, all the time you have
dishwasher. You're the only man I know who doesn't rearrange it. Dishwasher.
There's a particular way that the dishes are supposed to be done.
He's right. That's the way they get the most clean.
This is the other thing is that people come like we often host, and so it's like people would be like, oh, like let me kind of help you and kind of clean up, and I'm like, don't if you even touch a single dish of mine.
Yeah.
But she hates to unload the dishwasher, and so that is my job. Now, I think that's an easy job because I know where everything goes pretty much. So like. That's not hard. I actually am fine with that division. She likes the other part. That's fine. I put everything back.
So Ted doesn't understand the question. He says, "Be a pro golfer, hire a chef and dish cleaner." Scratch golfer does not make you a pro, Ted.
Oh, you're pretty close though.
You're close, but you're not a pro at scratch golf.
Yeah, scratch. They're better.
That means you're even, right? Is that right?
Yes, it means your handicap is zero.
You're not a pro
right.
there. You're gonna go win the tournaments at your club, and you're gonna enter them if you're that good.
I played with a guy in Texas a few times who was he had a negative handicap, meaning he was a couple strokes better than scratch.
Yeah.
And he played he tried to qualify and was not on a tour. So that tells you how hard it is. This is a guy who shot like 68 at your local club. You know what I mean? 68.
I played with a guy who played at University of Texas.
Yeah.
He was at my college roommate's he was in my college roommate's wedding, I think, with me. This is the thing, and I think I talked to you about this, Jay, how much it blew my mind. We're on the green. We're playing at a course in Texas, and I'm trying to read the green. I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, looks like it goes right to me. He's coming up, and he's reading the blades of grass.
Yep.
I was like, what does he see that I don't see?
Lots.
And then I went, and I putted as hard as I could off the green. Done. Shut your mouth, Texas golfer. I'm just fine. He was so good. I mean, like, when you're around that type of person.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah. Different ballgame.
We got a Brahm to Louisville question. So here we go.
We
got two would you rathers from Morgan.
Going back to his the homie visits, or just going to see some of his family.
Recruiting visits. I think there are a couple good recruits in Louisville he's bringing to Purdue. Yeah, it makes sense.
Right.
Morgan.
Yeah, I agree. He should go. That's what a coach should do. They should go recruit the good players and bring them back to Purdue. It makes sense.
Silence. Morgan says, would you rather win the Big Ten this year and a New Year's 6 bowl, but lose Brahm to Louisville, or finish 7-5 and keep Brahm?
That's a good question. I'll go with the New Year's Day.
You see, you're ready. You're ready for the excitement of a coaching search.
No, it's not that I want the coaching search. You know what I told you, and I'll release this to the people, that after his comments this summer, when he said, I'm not going to rule anything out. For a guy that doesn't tell you anything, he told you everything. You don't get candid moments with Jeff Brahm in public very often. He doesn't tell people everything. He told people everything right there. I'm not overanalyzing. I'm just saying that guy does not talk very much. And when he said, I'm not going to rule anything out, that means he's not going to rule anything out. That's all that means. And so if they come at him hard, his heart, his home is still Louisville. So I'm going to go ahead. If they keep him and Babinski does what I think he's capable of doing and restructuring, keeping him there, fine. That's great. And I'll be elated because I like him. But I just kind of said, okay, it's probably not going to happen.
I like that. I actually liked his comments in the offseason because it
shows that they're fair.
But you can't. First of all, you can't close the door because all of a sudden you are like closing off Louisville and the greater Louisville area as a recruiting ground. Like all of a sudden you're pissing every family off in the greater Louisville area, and you can't do that.
How about this? I just thought of another answer too. His dad lives in Louisville. His dad loves Louisville. His family is in Louisville. You can't disrespect the Louisville family.
Right.
So that's
So it's like you can't say that. Like and he's got friends, his family. He's this is his home. And so if we were working elsewhere, we wouldn't say bad things about Purdue. That doesn't mean we're not necessarily going there. The other thing is like I'd rather take the 7 wins because that means that Brahm I think that Satterfield is getting fired at the first chance that they can have it.
They had a big win.
They did. They beat a very mediocre team.
Without his quarterback, without Malik Cunningham, which was good. And so go Louisville. We think that Satterfield should get an extension.
We're huge Louisville fans.
Huge.
So Morgan asked a second would you rather in the same tweet because I asked for real questions, and then the caveat was you had to also ask an unrelated or inane question. He said, would you rather not be able to eat Oreos or funnel cakes?
Funnel cakes. Yeah.
Funnel cakes are once a year for me.
If you have a funnel cake more than once every 6 months, just seek help.
Problem.
Exactly, you've got a big problem. And if you don't seek help, you're gonna die of a heart attack soon.
It's gone. Your life. You're probably already listening to this from the great beyond.
Exactly.
That's it.
You're
You should stop. There, the serving sake.
you're at the pearly gates.
Serving size on funnel
This is
cakes.
by the way, this is the. I don't know if everybody knows this. This is the soundtrack for the waiting room for heaven.
Oh, I don't know. It's a soundtrack for the waiting room, but it might not be. It's one of them. It's one of the waiting rooms.
Oh boy, yeah.
So Doc McDoom asks, this is one of those questions that this isn't what happened. So, he's just saying at the end of the game, if Maccabi did not get into the end zone, what should Brahm have done? Now, Doc, I want to tell you,
Good question.
You're killing yourself though thinking about this. But he says
Right.
there would have been 35 to 37 seconds left. Option one, kick a field goal to go up 4, or 2, try for the touchdown to go up 8, or Maryland starts at their 1, needing a field goal. I think he probably kicks the field goal there.
I think you kick it.
Because then they have to score a touchdown, which they had to anyway, and a field goal doesn't beat you. I don't think you put
you
yourself
kick
in a
it and then you
position-
take your loss like a man because they're not going to stop it at that point.
I go for it. Man.
Easy answer.
I go for it.
Anish goes for it. Anish is a go for it kind of guy.
Yeah, man.
He's-
I'm always going
he's
for
tin
it.
cup.
He's doing Xbox football.
Give me another
That's
ball.
it.
Tin cup.
No, but the field position part of this is the kind of decision maker. It's like they were pinned, and so you go for it.
John Ficker just made me laugh because he has his two. He followed the rules. He gave us 2 questions. His real one is: if Brahm leaves for the school that shall not be named, would you hire Matt Rule? I mean,
Yes.
yeah. There's worse. There's definitely worse choices than Matt.
Why
Rule.
wouldn't you hire Matt Rowe? What am I missing?
Because he couldn't turn the Panthers around. I don't know.
He got $40 million
So many
to not
great
coach
college-
the Carolina
Exactly.
Panthers. I
He's
mean,
the smartest guy
to me,
around.
it's like, yeah, he's a smart guy.
Yeah, I'd pick that.
Yeah.
He's going to
And
go back to
Guns-
college and get another buyout.
He's going to probably be coaching Oklahoma here in a couple months.
He's going to get.
By
He's
the
gonna
Some oil guy's going to buy out Venables after 15 minutes in Norman.
Rule's going to get looked at
Stupid
by
damn
Nebraska,
college football.
Oh, yeah.
by Wisconsin,
for sure.
like,
Auburn.
by Auburn. Oh man, he's going to have. They couldn't have. They did him a favor firing him now.
I'm
Yes,
sure
they did.
Louisville. I mean, if Louisville does and Louisville strikes out on,
Prime.
some
That's
guy
Prime's
that they
job.
want.
Anish, you figured that out last week. That's Prime's
Prime.
job.
Yeah, dude,
Um,
Coach Prime at
John
Louisville.
Faker's
Good fit.
non-related question. He says, "Please prove to me that Stevie Wonder is blind."
You
do
can't.
it.
You can't prove it. You
I'm
can't,
not
because
saying
he's not.
it's not. I'm not. I want it.
The famous
I want
clip
Also-
of the
oh.
mic stand.
Where
You've
he's-
seen the mic stand falling.
Yeah, he's
over
either
him
a
grabbing it.
dolphin or he can see.
When he catches. So I never used to know this
Sonar.
was a thing. When I saw that video of him catching the mic falling over, I was like,
Well, the funny thing is, he's not blind. I've known
Like
people that are blind that
blackout
they can
blind.
see things. He was born blind.
supposedly, allegedly.
If you were
That's
born
what they
blind, you
said.
can't
Listen.
see shapes. You can't see light. How the heck did that mic stand? Come on.
He's a bat.
Come on.
So I'm not the only one. Who's
This has all been a
He
big
hangs upside down.
ruse.
It's
70
like
years of a
it's like when your joke or your practical joke goes on and the person takes it a little too seriously, but in the moment you don't go like, "Oh, I was just joking, my bad." But now you're in on it for the rest of time. That's it. This is the gag that went too far, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
not saying
Yeah.
he's not. Again, I'm not saying he's not. I don't want the bots to come in on this on the side again.
Right.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying, it's we need more information. I'm saying that there are a few conspiracy theories that maybe deserve
That's
a little
darn
closer
good one.
look.
It's such
Is
a
the
good
moon
one.
made of a cheese? Who knows?
See, I've moved on from most of my. I was as a young man. I loved the conspiracy theory. I've moved on from most of them, but this one is too good. It's too good.
So,
Also, cheese, delicious.
we got some new respondents. Wesley Beeson. Wesley, I don't know you, but glad you're here.
But I love you.
He says 6 games left. Hypothetically, I don't know why he says hypothetically. I think this is his question. The Boilers can win only 4 more. Which 4 are you taking, and which 2 you're biting the bullet on?
I like that.
So let's take a look.
There is no circumstance in which you will tell me to answer the IU game in the loss column. So let's just mark that as a win.
Exactly.
And
I'll
Iowa,
tell you, I can
you will
tell you,
not lose to Iowa.
I would not actually, I would probably rather not lose to Illinois. because at this point they're probably the bigger threat in the Big Ten West, which is a wild.
But the
sentence.
ramifications of taking that is probably mean you're going to lose to somebody really bad.
I was just going to say.
I mean, Wisconsin. Like
I would take the Wisconsin win just to get it out of the way.
Well, you guys should probably be okay with losing. Here's the smart thing: you should be okay with losing Northwestern Indiana because they're not threats to win the division.
Yeah, but okay, fine. I'll take Northwestern, but I will not take Indiana. Get out of here.
Okay, and who else are you picking? Nebraska, Wisconsin, Iowa, or Illinois?
Wisconsin. I'll never see it. I will never see it as long as I live. And exactly.
You're used to losing to Wisconsin, so
exactly.
You're saying this is a fact of life. Like
it's like exercise
and the moon being made of cheese. Correct.
Yes.
A moon being made of cheese. And Weasley's
Noodle has an important question. That's not a Twitter question. I'm going to answer it quickly.
Sure.
Does Derek Carr wear eyeliner? Yes.
I mean, he looks
great.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, he looks
He's
excellent.
A real
it's good makeup, yeah. But it's makeup.
Does he wear eyeliner?
Yeah. Just like I use was he the shooting forward? What's that? I can't remember his name right
now. I got one from Josh Mansfield. He checks in and he first asked about the Purdue. When was the last time they went 3-1 or 4-0 in October? And Josh, I've gone back quite a ways and have not found an October that was 3-1 or better. So I'm going to say maybe never, probably not in your lifetime. But
really, Tiller didn't do that ever?
Well, I don't know how young this guy is. I'm saying it's been a while. Maybe the Tiller era. Yeah. Okay. Tiller era, probably.
Yeah.
I've gone back quite a few years and haven't seen it yet. So, but his question that I think is an interesting one to think about, and I feel like we've been asked variations of this before, but it's still fun. Would you rather Indiana? I'm assuming. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I was assuming you meant this was a football part. But listen, would you rather Indiana beat Purdue 10 times in a row, but Purdue makes at least one Final Four in that span? Maybe he's talking about basketball. What do you think?
Yeah, this is.
Would you rather Indiana beat Purdue 10 times in a row, but Purdue makes at least one Final Four in that span? If you're talking basketball, that's 5 years of losing to IU.
Sure.
Assuming home and home, and you get a Final Four out of it? Absolutely.
Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
No, you're right. You're right. You convinced me.
We've seen the domination of IU. We've seen Purdue getting dominated by IU.
Because that would actually be almost funnier in a way.
It would be.
Because they'd be barking about beating Purdue every year while Purdue goes to the Final Four.
Like it's okay.
You're right. It's also just 5 years. It's like basically one class.
Purdue just did that to them, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want the Final Four. Yes.
Hell yes. Hell yes. I mean,
we can arrange the 4 Sweet 16.
I think we've got no disagreement so far in the margin here either. So.
They all agree. I literally lost the whole stream. I don't know why. It says my embed link is invalid, Anish.
Don't even know what that means.
I mean,
visit the chat settings and grab
I've called you invalid many times. Are there other Twitter questions?
Oh, Anish is ready to move on from.
Yeah, he's had enough of that one.
Hello. So he said. So Nate Hartman says, and I want to answer this one. Would you rather play Michigan or Ohio State in Indianapolis? First of all, I love that Nate is moving right ahead to the Big Ten championship.
Oh, yeah.
And he says, who does Purdue match up better against? First of all, who cares? Give me every bit of Ohio State, only because
just to
that
scare the crap
entire
out of
week,
them, right?
they and their fans will be terrified. And I love it because Purdue will lose that game handily.
Sure.
Because Ryan Day will never let them forget that they need to pummel Purdue. But man, AOC,
he doesn't have the hubris again. Of
AOC against Ohio State, he'd stand in there just like he did last year. He put up 31 points last year on them.
They're going to blitz him. He's going to pick up and blitz like he does, and he's going to pick them apart.
He put up 31 on them last year. If I said to you, Purdue's in the Big Ten title game, so you're already excited, and they're going to score 31, great, fine. They might not win, but I'm not embarrassed by that.
Right.
I don't care if they lose 59-31 again.
Ohio State this year is so good. Yeah, but I'll take it. Are you kidding?
I'll take it.
I'll do that.
They were good last year.
Michigan is like I feel nothing towards Michigan. I don't care about Michigan at all. Like I do not have any feelings, good or ill, towards Michigan anything.
You'd be seeing clips of the 49-20 game.
Yeah.
All
right.
Yes.
Right.
And that would remind Ohio State
has history.
And they would bludgeon Purdue. But they do know. I mean, I've heard players quoted saying weird stuff happens. No, usually it's in Ross-Ade. But
nobody comes in around.
Nobody comes in around. But I would absolutely. Oh gosh, I want that. I want that division title. So part of it is for that fun, for knowing that Ohio State is like, oh, our season could be ruined.
Real quickly,
do
things
it
got
again.
so sensual again. It
came back. The bots
got
came back, Jay.
It came back, and again, it's
got hot
entirely
in here.
because it got too hot.
Hot in this hot tub.
So Nate's non-sports related question: would you rather not bathe for a week or not brush your teeth for a week? And then he just said, okay,
you have to keep living your life as it is.
But then he says, what if it's a month? Does that change your answer? Good questions. So
I can't stand funky breath, man. I can't stand funky breath.
I can't. I really don't like smelling myself. Period. Like I don't.
Everything you're eating tastes like that.
Yeah.
I think I need teeth brushing. Yeah.
I would say though you could chew some pretty strong gum.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're trying to get around? I guess you could. Well, you could stand outside in a rainstorm too.
True.
I guess. But
you could avoid on this comment here. Click on this.
You could avoid exerting yourself.
Which one?
The one at the top.
You click on this
most recent.
He's pointing at it, Anish.
Oh,
that one.
J Money's chat broke because he clicked the link.
I did not.
That's what you say. That's what somebody clicked.
That's what somebody who clicks the link says. Exactly. There you go.
I am not a cat.
Okay, so I'm changing my answer. I definitely, I just, you can bathe and then chew the strongest of gums.
Then he says, "What if it's a month?" Same answer. A month, you can't not shower for a month.
No,
you can't not shower for a month.
I think. See, both of them have health ramifications, don't they? I mean, I don't know. It seems like both would be kind of somewhat. You're gonna
pretty gross.
You don't brush your teeth. I'm not hanging around you, homie.
Right. You're losing people. You're losing people either scenario.
It's over.
You're losing people in either case. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Andrew says, would you rather have a football team of 11 Payne Durhams? Wow, that'd be a brutal team. Or a basketball team of 5 Mason Gillises.
It's very similar.
Right.
Very similar.
I don't know. Kind of both.
So I think I'm going to go with 5 Mason Gillises because he can do a lot of things.
I think he's more versatile.
He's more versatile.
He gets less penalty yards.
Right.
And
Mason
so maybe that's part of it.
Mason Gillis could play more realistically play all the basketball positions than Payne Durham could play all the football positions. I think.
Yes.
I think
maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe. The more I think about it, I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is a good question.
I think both of them could do it. I'm probably leaning towards Mason. But yeah.
Well, he can shoot.
And he can defend them all. You know what I mean? Like he can defend all positions.
Yeah.
See, I'd drop into a zone. That's the other thing. Basketball has some ways you can get around things too.
11 Payne Durham. Does that mean he has to play both ways? Because
that's 22.
Hey, just 11.
22 positions. I mean,
just 11. Cool. So you could do just the offense.
Right.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Zach says Payne Durham can't throw the ball. For my knowledge,
not with that attitude.
I don't know. Exactly. If you say that,
how do you know he can't throw the ball?
I've never heard anyone say he can't throw the ball. So I'm going to say he has a wonderful arm. Maybe he's like a Tim Stratton arm, right?
Wouldn't you
Tim
love?
Stratton could throw the ball like 30 yards into the crowd, like on a dime.
Wouldn't you love a Payne Durham trick play pass this weekend just to shove it in his face?
Yeah.
I would love it like 40 trick plays. 40 trick plays against Nebraska. I want to see Zach Edey on the football field once, just in football pads.
Just come on the field. You know, I guarantee you. I mean, this is kind of a neat scenario. If you say, if one of the guys who plays basketball is like, you know what, I've always wanted to run out of the tunnel and warm up with the team. Any one of those guys, he would let him. Now, wouldn't it be awesome if Brahm said, I want the whole team to warm up with us. We're not going to tell it. It's like a practical joke. Everybody on the basketball team is coming out with the football team, going to blend it in, and you're going to see it because everything's going to be hanging off of it.
Well, except for
they're all going to look gigantic. They're all
Mason Gillis. Tall. Mason Gillis looks like a football player to me.
Looks like tight end, yeah.
He looks like a.
But I bet he'd look thin. I bet he'd look thin and.
Oh yeah. So two more quick ones here. Brian Rubenstein, he did not give us a inane question, but I'll let him have it. He says, "Am I the only longtime Boiler fan that has slowly and without realizing it had AOC sneak up on me and turn into my second favorite Purdue QB of all time behind Breeze? His journey, his story, his toughness, his faith made me buy in and root hard for him. He's very easy to root for.
Oh yeah, he is.
I mean, the walk-on stories are always.
If he's not your second favorite, who is? I think that's the better question.
Curtis Painter paints a masterpiece.
Painter and Jay's, of course, is Trefsker. I mean, those are. It's only funny to like a third of the. Yeah, sorry.
Purdue fans alive. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. Let's see. That's
yeah.
He's my second favorite.
I mean, like if you're talking quarterbacks, like Blau, honestly, like again, just because it's the emotional connections. Orton,
There's a lot of those guys that it's
Orton was such a heart guy too, though. People kind of forget. Remember him playing in pain and like those crappy El Paso bowls, like
he had his thumb dislocated in a
meaningless
Outback Bowl.
No, right? it was the
was that the
Sun Bowl? The Sun Bowl, I believe.
See, I thought it was in the Outback because they were playing Georgia.
Oh, was that game?
And then Kyle Smith came in with the wrong face mask. He had his DB face mask because that's how prepared Coach Tiller was. What could happen to a quarterback? We don't need a second quarterback. Kyle Smith comes in and he's got the like old Deion Sanders helmet. I don't know if you remember that. I thought that was the funniest thing ever, which is awful for vision, right? He had the 2 vertical bars. He only played for I think 1 series, but right to the end of the first half. That was amazing.
You can't see so well, Kyle. Go back in there.
You know the tweet where it's like dudes can just name athletes and just have the best time for like a week.
Yeah.
We've got some good names in here. Shout out to Joey Elliott. Shout out Caleb Turbush.
Yeah.
Robert Marvin,
all these guys. See, I like
Henry.
Yeah, this is.
I know, but now we're just naming dudes. I love naming dudes. Yeah. How about this guy?
Yeah. How about that guy? Remember that guy?
Joey Elliott.
I remember Caleb Turbush. Yeah, I remember Caleb Turbush.
Caleb Turbush, where the T is capitalized and the B is capitalized.
That's right. He was part of the quarterback chimera, a 3-headed quarterback attack. What could possibly go wrong?
It's a beautiful, beautiful idea.
Just chaos. Danny Hope was nothing but pure chaos at all times.
And Hal French, I'm going to finish up here with an oldie but a goodie. He asks us best and worst Halloween candy, past or present. Now we did an entire post on this probably 5 years ago.
Yes, this has happened multiple times,
and it's constantly one of the few things I think we agree on completely is that near the top, always on the podium, is some sort of Reese's peanut
cup. Yeah,
it's always on the
peanut butter and it's chocolate. What do you need? Yeah. What else?
Right. That's always up.
I mean, we got into that discussion at the tailgate, didn't we? That was the last time I discussed it. Was 2 weeks ago. So
yes.
And the funny thing is, I think we had everybody agreeing that
the cups are good, but they're not the best. The best are when they do the seasonal, the Christmas trees or the eggs.
I think growing old means that you start to non-ironically enjoy peppermint patties.
They're good.
It's like I enjoy a peppermint patty. I think that means that you're 86 years old, and
you're right.
And I'm brushing my teeth now. It's like it's like a full teeth brush.
It's like
I don't have to. I can go bathe now, and I don't have to brush my teeth. Yeah, exactly.
Mrs. Boiler Dowd keeps a stash of different chocolate in the freezer. Okay, she just comes and she'll have like one, and she grabs them, and then she just like throws them as hard as she can, just to see if I'll catch it.
No.
Yesterday, peppermint patty.
Real?
Yep.
She does.
Yep.
She's just letting it out, and she's just letting it little bit of the retaliatory.
You've lived with Boiler Down before. You've lived in the vicinity of Boiler Down before.
Right.
You know what it takes.
You want to throw things at him,
on
a regular basis. So I don't know how
I throw things at myself. Moron.
We're at an hour and 17 minutes. So whoever had 87 minutes on the over,
I don't know. I don't remember what Vegas was saying before.
It's usually set about 90 minutes, I think, is the over-under generally.
Right.
So speaking of that, Purdue, 13.5 points. Yikes. I don't know what to think about that, except I'm going to say don't take Purdue to cover. And then
I hate it. I couldn't hate it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't hate it anymore. It's terrible. I don't like it at all. I hope it happens.
Purdue is an 85% to win on the matchup predictor. And the over-under, yet again, I feel like this is almost always what it is 50. By the way, last week it was 59.5, and that team's combined for 60.
Vegas knows. It's like they know. It's like they've done a few calculations.
But the funny thing is, it felt like the coaches knew because they just took a break in the middle quarters. Like, what the heck?
And then they looked at it and like, we got to get up to 60 points.
The final 8 minutes, like, got to get going. Turn on the excitement.
I had the thought again that I had in the Syracuse game where I thought after Purdue went up 8, I thought, I'm not going to win the over bet, but if Maryland scores, I will. And then they did.
What
so I need to stop thinking that.
This was just a normal win? What if this was normal? What if we played it normal?
What's normal look like, Anish? 42-28?
Just normal.
Yes,
35,
where it's
15,
in
14.
hand, but it's not insane. 50-14.
Yeah,
That's not a normal
exactly.
win.
No,
That's not a normal win.
35-14.
So is this going to be?
It'd be fun to knock them off the fans are on a perch right now. They think they're really good, so that'd be fun.
Oh, they're about ready to chirp, man.
Yeah,
they go to 3-1 in the conference.
Fopolini talked crap this week, so that bothered me.
Fopolini, that's a fake.
I know, but it's a Nebraska fan. I'm convinced that's a Nebraska fan.
It is.
Yeah, he's a Nebraska fan, but he's a self-loathing.
You wouldn't connect
Nebraska
it.
fan.
You wouldn't keep going with that joke this long if you weren't a Nebraska fan.
No.
Oh yeah, but he hates it. He hates.
Yeah.
It's like he was born this way, and he hates
right.
it.
Well, is this going to be? Let me ask this: is this going to be the most hyped up Ross 8 is? You think in a while, or are people? Is it no different than say the Penn State opener?
Oh, I think this will be similar. I don't think it'll be as jacked as Penn State. Penn State was live, man. That's a good that first. Getting fired out of a cannon first game, it's awfully fun.
And home game, it's Penn State. Like two good teams.
The weather,
go
this one is
going
to be perfect, though, boys. It's going to be perfect, and I'm not going to be there, sadly.
We'll talk about that off air. But it's going to be the crowd's going to be lit, right? And if Purdue gets out to it, let's say Purdue gets out to a 14-0 lead in the first quarter, it's going to be silly.
Cruise control. Jeff Brahm goes all draw plays.
Then they go into a shell and try to win 14-10.
Yay!
That's enough.
All you need to do is win by one.
That's true, and they're proving that.
Yeah.
They're trying every week to prove that.
Nathan Hartman says Fopolini is J Money. That's why he gets all twitchy about it.
That's
it's just the loathing part, not the self-loathing part.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's a boiler in Texas. This is what, Purdue gets up 14-0. AOC QB draws for 3 quarters. Just like what we saw versus Maryland, just 1-yard dives. Linemen fall down, go forward.
Well, he had a play in that game. He had a naked bootleg.
Yeah.
I was like,
why would you call that?
What are you doing?
You do that?
It's because he saw Tiger Bailoa do it on the previous drive, and then AOC ran up, and then a defender came up, and he was like, "No."
Yeah.
I don't.
By the way, he was targeted on one of those runs.
That was a pro move right there because he knew he was going to get it, and he slid just as late as possible.
Right, but did you see him barking back at that guy?
Oh yeah, because he set him up. Him up.
I know, but AOC is not that kind of player, and he was.
That game got like that. It was awesome.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, when they were on the 5-yard line, and they called the naked bootleg, and it was naked. Buddy.
Yeah.
It was stark.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, what's interesting too is the officials didn't call a taunting penalty on them for barking at each other, which was nice, as opposed to the Syracuse game when Payne Durham couldn't say anything to anyone without
Can't
being
do anything.
Yeah,
even though it goes on all game.
That officiating crew had their moments, though. Big Ten officiating crew, just a crackpot.
So Cam Allen was not offside. Jeff Brahm went out of his way to point that out. By the way,
he was. I mean, like
it was frame.
Okay, fine. He was. Like, if you watch it live, that's he was, and that's fine. It's okay. But again, it's bad refereeing just constantly.
Well, and I think, as we've said, I have no sympathy because Purdue has gotten their share of crap-ass calls.
But the problem is that when the game is in stupid range, and there are these coin flip refs, eventually the coins are going to flip. It's just they're so bad. Everybody that watches college football knows if you have a Big Ten ref crew, it's going to be an adventure.
Yep. Shouldn't put yourself in that position. Don't. That's the funny thing. Jeff Brahm knows this, but he keeps playing with that damn fire. I don't.
I'd like 50 trick plays against Nebraska and just a normal win. You know what? How about a 250 rushing yard game and just a normal win?
Well, Downing is out, I believe, right now.
Yeah.
And so that's a question. Somebody, I don't know where I saw that. Somebody asked the question, who's the second string back?
On Twitter, yeah.
I mean,
who's the next man up? He said, not second.
Because I don't think King is ready to come back.
No, he's not. He's not.
I mean, and we went this entire time like, oh my gosh, how nice was it to have Jalen Graham back?
Oh yeah.
I mean, instantly led.
Goodness,
instantly
9 tackles right out of the box.
I mean,
so good.
He's so good. And he doesn't do that nonsense where you try to hip check somebody. It's like he picks him up and throws him down. It's great.
right?
Oh, Jalen Graham is so nice. It didn't have OC Brothers, but Jalen Graham was in. Oof.
Yeah.
Boy,
Neither
How
of the
long's
brothers
brothers
playing?
out? How long's brothers
neither
out?
of them. Just all three of them. All three of them weren't playing.
The OC brothers were not there.
Oh,
That's-
A, O, B,
man,
and
you
OC.
need the
None of
brothers.
them were playing.
You always need the OC brothers.
It's
And
so
he's
It's a
fully
great
into the
joke.
bad
It never
joke.
gets old. It's always
It's
good.
so stupid.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's good.
I-
So,
Oh, they have a pair of brothers playing.
yes. Yeah. So yeah, it's obviously Kobe Lewis is the next man up. There's no doubt. But the problem is he hadn't shown a lot of ability to really punch that hole, right? He's a little bit apprehensive. I know he's super fast when Lewis is what I'm talking about, Jay.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? So sorry. So sorry.
I wonder if Charlie Jones is gonna have
I didn't
like
even hear myself say
another
that,
kind
Jay.
of
Sorry.
another comeback game. I think Charlie Jones has been a little quiet the last 2 weeks, but
He was very quiet this past week. But
I mean, like he had good he had a few solid catches, but
well,
again, he's not having.
wouldn't
a
you
Charlie
start
Jones
to
game.
when you
He's due.
start to maybe we start to focus
Maybe
on
start to
saying,
cover him.
I'm
Maybe
not gonna
send
let
a
that guy
little
do
bit of help.
this because
Yeah,
a lot of their options are not quite as good as him.
But then once you send the safety over, to help on Charlie Jones,
All of a sudden,
then
Payne
all of a
Durham is
sudden,
open downfield.
then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're leaving the
Yep.
seam open for Payne. Exactly.
And if one thing that might cure that is Nebraska's secondary, because I don't think they're very good.
They're legendary, man.
Black
I'm
shirts.
scared.
Black shirts.
I'm going on record saying I'm scared of this. I think Purdue still
You're
comes out with a
scared
win,
of
but
every
I
game
am
they
scared
should
of
win.
this one.
You're scared of
Because
every game they
we
should win.
haven't won a normal game yet, and so it's like I haven't seen it.
Minnesota was
Indiana
fairly
State.
normal.
Which one?
Minnesota was fairly normal. No, 10 points, double-digit victory. You can't double digit.
It was, but it didn't feel like it because of the amount of missed opportunities.
Florida Atlantic, normal win. Completely normal win.
No, because no, absolutely not. No, disagree. Hard
Right.
disagree.
Smash that disagree button. Yeah, that was not normal. We've had one normal win.
Illinois is ranked, by the way.
It should
Yeah.
be.
They should.
It should be.
They're really good, but they're playing again. They're playing without their starting quarterback for at least a couple weeks now. They still got that running. They still got that running attack, but it's so strange. Burt, man, just send Burt back to Minnesota, Nebraska.
They just
Send him
won
back
9-6.
Send him back to Nebraska. Send him to
Mission
send him
accomplished.
to Nebraska or back to Wisconsin. Send him somewhere where he belongs.
I guess the Wisconsin win was a decent win for them, but their wins are over Wyoming. Then they lost to IU. They beat Virginia, Chattanooga, Wisconsin, and Iowa. Are they good?
No, Iowa's their best win. That's it.
Now they've
Hey,
got
man.
Minnesota, then Nebraska, then Michigan State, then Purdue. So I guess we'll know. By the time they play Purdue, I guess we'll have an idea. I don't know. Are they going to? I don't even know.
Sitkowski's at quarterback. He's a former Big Ten starter.
He's still quarterback.
So is Spencer Petrus.
He's a rugger
Petrus.
guy. Yeah, Petrus. Yeah, the Big Ten can't say anything about any of the stars the last decade. There's some bad quarterbacks that started in the Big Ten.
Yeah. And there's Tanner Morgan. What?
He looked like an all-star
Let
for
him
one game.
destroy us. How did that happen? Anyway, we got the win this week, so it's good.
Yep.
We're about to wrap up. Ken asks whether Michael's going to appear on the podcast. We still don't
I
know.
was just going to thank him for being here. It was great having him here in
It
spirit.
really was.
Yeah. I think he wrote a note about something, saying something about why he's not here, and I didn't care to read it. I don't know. I think he sent us a note on my phone. I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to make fun of him for doing what he do.
Yeah, I think it's a better way to do it.
Again, another week, another no Michael. Even though he says he has done this twice in the last 3 years, and that's something we should celebrate.
He says he's done it twice this season.
I know.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
But doing twice in a season is a lot. So
It is.
yeah. So, well, I do appreciate our sponsors. I do appreciate those who are live and even those listening to it taped. And I appreciate my co-hosts
Those alive
for those guys, for Anish, for Jay Money, for all you